newspaper, I made it almost while coming to the airport, that this is talking about, I'm a sucker for old school romance. So the whole concept of romance, writing love letters, having a cup of tea, going out with hand in hand, movies, romance. And then it proceeds further from there. Next. Okay. The last line is most important here, because I will move fast also. I don't want to take too much of time in the area. Many adolescents adopt high-risk behavior. We talk about substance abuse. We'll also want to talk about going to commercial sex workers, or girls having multiple partners, getting pregnant early and then going for abortions, multiple abortions, areas, STIs, HIV, and pregnancy, which my friend spoke in the beginning. I'm not going to speak much on the topic, because that is core reproductive health and sexual health. We'll talk about it, you'll learn about it. But sexuality is not in your course, so I'll speak on that. Next slide. Fantasy. And here is a boy who's doing, who's fantasizing about being in bed with a girl in the area, and fantasy goes on lifelong. It's there. There was a time when अपने बारे में कितना बोलूँ अच्छा भी नहीं लगता है, but नहीं बोलूँ तो then we won't get open. There was a fantasy. I used to fantasize about Benazir Bhutto or Rekha. So that's why I put Rekha's slide here. Still fantasize. I have no problem in telling you that. You can judge me. Fantasy good. I'm not doing anything wrong to Rekha, please. There's nothing wrong. And I feel she comes to know that I fantasize good. You never know, she may be happy that there's an old man who still fantasizes about her. That is the way. So let you become comfortable. Fantasy is common. It goes on. Can we have these slides now to show you something? Now you may ask, why are you telling us these things? Doctor, you are our senior, or we are listening to very carefully, but why are you telling us this? What do you expect from us? I expect very little for you is to first understand the issues and then try to help people. How we could do it? I'm going to show you some slides. There are 40 or 50 slides, but I'm only going to show you 6 or 7 slides. We, a group of people, like you, a group of people have organized this mega one under leadership of Dr. Patanjali, and I'm sure other people also in the group. We used to have medical exhibition, and there we used a slideshow on sexuality. There are 40-50 slides, but I'm going to show you only one. Can we put up the lights? Because everything is clear to them. For 1 minute, if you can put up these 2 lights. These 2 lights. This slide shows the boy who's looking at so-called dirty pictures. He's looking at, he's in the hostel, he's looking at so-called dirty pictures and enjoying them, in the hostel, this area. And I don't know whether you can recognize me picture or not, because when we made the slideshow, the topic was so controversial, nobody came forward to become the model in this. So they said, hey, it is your idea, why don't you also do it? So I took up the challenge and I said, model it. Of course, no girl would agree to be with me in such a controversial area. So we had a Chinese Singaporean doctor called Dr. Albert. He's a famous man now in Singapore and that part of the world. He agreed to be the role of the girl, and I have a picture of embracing him and like that. So that is the area, and we did it in 1976, more than 40 years ago, and that's where I am. The next slide. Okay, this again a friend is talking to him about techniques of masturbation and other things. Next slide. Those एक दूसरे को करते हैं ना, peer pressure. That's the answer came up. The next one. अभी तक अच्छा चल रहा था ये. Here there is a boy showing that he cannot focus on studies. He's looking at so-called dirty pictures in his cupboard and his room. He's not able to study. So what does he do? Next one. Is the next one. He's very worried. He's lost total focus. Next one. That's the story we have created, around 50 slides. But I'm just going to show you 4 or 5 more. And to finish off the time, what is it? He's depressed, he stops going to the hospital, he stops going to the college. In the daytime, he is found sleeping in his room. And the friends are very worried. Next slide. Then he goes to, thinks of going to the psychiatrist. And we had a very good psychiatrist in those days, Dr. The next one. So the boy visits to the psychiatrist, and we had our own psychiatrist. I think I will keep this in the last slide and forget the other slides to tell you just the gist of what we did. And here is Dr. talking to the boy. And the boy tells, I'm getting pimples because of masturbation, I'm not able to study, I've become weak, all this, etc. And then she guides and tells him and gives him literature, he comes back home. Lights on please, we can come back to the area. And he comes back home and is able to study very well in the same environment. The last slide shows the boy is able to focus, the dirty pictures are still there, but he is able to study. So this is what we want from you is understand. And then to do your best, which you can do for the people, the girls or boys or men. In your personal way, sharing information, sharing ideas, you can do that. We are 5 of us who made this area very controversial topic in those days. And I find it is still, you guys and girls are still shy, so it is still controversial. Break out of the shell, please see millions of people suffer from problems. I'll show you my columns now. For 6 years I had a column in Indian Express every week. I used to get around 300 to 500 letters a week, and around 250 would reach me, others would be lost in the office. Huge problem in the people, and they don't know where to go. The doctors are the only one. So don't lose out. If you really want to heal people, this is one area. Next one. This is the Lancet talking about. Next, okay. Unsafe sex is the second most important risk factor leading to disease, disability or death. And survey reporting sexual intercourse, and around 24% of boys and 74% of girls are sexually active before marriage. This is one of the areas. It could vary figure from place to place. I don't know what would Hyderabad. You can think about it and you can tell me later on, quietly in my ear. Next. This is about sex as a partnership. You respect the individual. I don't know how many of you know of Tantra. There are a lot of ill feelings about Tantra and Tantrics. Tantra is one of the best methods of healthy sexuality. Well, the first thing, if you have seen the movie of Rishi Kapoor and Simi Grewal, talk about, the first scene is pulling hands to the partner, to the female partner. That I have derived pleasure from. It may be mutual, we respect each other. That is what sexuality is all about. It is not about using one person or as you said, man seducing. It is absolutely, because that means you are taking advantage of somebody. And having mutually pleasurable, agreeable sex is enabling to both. That is where it is about. No religion condemns sex. Every religion condemns exploitative sex. That is the whole difference. You will find no religion condemns, including Catholicism. They condemn or have talks about sex which is exploitative or dangerous or harmful. So we'll move on. Next. This is an interesting part. I'll quickly go through some slides to tell you that it's from a long time this is an interesting topic for people. Next slide. This is from Sumerian goddess. See how deliberately the movements are made as sexual. Enlarged hips. The goddess herself holding her breast and offering, that is a feeding. You know, it's giving nurturing, it is giving life. That is what it is. The female breasts are not sexual talk or object. They are life-giving substance. And this is where the Sumerians had a better, healthy attitude towards breast and female than we have today. This is what is coming through. This is the goddess, they have made that way, Sumerian goddess or electress, and you can see the exaggerated way of coming. Next slide. This is Ishtar. If you ever read it, right? I don't know how many of you are interested. Again, you find the area that it is deliberately made sexual and talks about it. It's from 3rd century BC. Next one. Dinah. These are supposed to be, hanging on. These are bull's testicles. People came to her for fertility and they offered bull's testicles to her. It was mistakenly thought as multiple breasts, but research pointed out these are, if you read this, is the bull's testicle. A goddess getting testicles onto her as offerings. Thoroughly sexual, thoroughly related to fertility, thoroughly related to behavior interest. This is what was in the past being done. For centuries and centuries, Dinah has been the major goddess in the Western world. So there's a difference. So what I'll show you, the relationship. So before we start thinking it dirty, it's us who have made it dirty today. It's us who think of females as only as 2 organs of their bodies rather than as complete human beings who can be friends with, who can really nurture you and we can have. I've had hugely amount of, I would say, relationship where I have been gained from my female friends because there will be wisdom, insensitivity, multiple things. I have not had a single sexual encounter with any of my, I didn't have a girlfriend. I have a huge number of friends and some of them are sitting here. Never had that kind of a girlfriend. My loss, I think so. But what I would say is, I gained a lot from my relationship with the female people. They taught me wisdom, sensitivity, behavioral changes, because men are usually very raw. I also was. Next, Yang and Yin. The heavens force, the earth's force. Both are needed. Nobody says Yang is better or Yin is better. Females have both, but more of Yin. Males have both, but more of Yang. But Yang and Yin, the Chinese concept, the other concept, Tibetan concept, Yang and Yin. Next, again showing complementarity. Kurukula. Again coming from Nepal, the tantric representation. See, and she's having the arrows of flowers, and just like Cupid we're talking about. So we have similar representations in the West, in the East, and this is tantric from Nepal. Next, Shiva. Whether you have Shivalingam, Ardhanareshwar, or Kali riding Shiva, all sexual imagery, but all symbolic. Ardhanareshwar concept tells you that each one of us has both the genders, both the sex in us. So God representing that. So that's where the gender aspects, sexual aspects come in. Shivalingam we know, and we know Kali's concept of how she makes Shiva, who is supposed to be a yogi, into a householder. That is the concept of Kali riding. A woman is riding a man in sexual intercourse, again empowering them. So see, the concepts are so liberating. We who have made that concept and made women as downgrade and women only the recipient, so no woman can be sexual, no woman is expected to have sexual thoughts, is our mistake. Next, Bali, temple. I've been there around 11 times. I could go to the beach, particularly only twice, because there's no time, as usually keeps us. The Bali temple says, for the sake of the holiness and our safety, we kindly request women being menstruation cannot enter the temple. And here is the what I just showed you. Nepal has just on 10th of August, 2 days ago, passed the law. You cannot restrain women from entering the temple or entering the kitchen. They have to pass a law. Because how pervasive it must be against the women. Menstruation is given by the same Allah who has given the men the erection. So why a man who has erection should be allowed to go to a religious place? And a woman who is menstruating, which is a part of her bodily function, be prevented and considered dirty or bad? We have to fight against it. And Nepal has passed a law. India doesn't have yet. I think we should ask ourselves, but why should there be discrimination for a physiological function? That is the whole point coming through. My God, my Allah never differentiated that if you are menstruating something bad. It's only about that menstruation that children are born and the fertility comes. We as doctors understand. So we have to be in the vanguard and fight the discrimination we put our women to because of the physiological function. We don't say a person who is a thief. मंदिरों से चप्पल चोरी हो जाती है. Nobody stops thieves from entering the temple. You want to stop the menstruating woman from entering the temple? I don't see the logic. I can't see. मेरा नया जूता चोरी हो जाएगा. You have nobody is watching that. But a woman, you have the courage to go and ask if you're menstruating, don't come. Very, very long is coming up. So talking about how sex, sexuality and in politics, this is sexual politics. That's why I'm a feminist from a long time, because you got to fight it. Next one. Very, very graphic image. All these lecherous men have come to this woman, whether she's a commercial sex worker, who's demonstrating the vulva, who's demonstrating the area. So how do you relate to the female sexual organ? You know, this is for boys and men, female sexual organs are a scary thing. It is not scary for the girls and the male sexual organs, they have curiosity about it. But men from the beginning have huge amount of myths about female sexual organs. And seeing that, and this is where it comes about, this is what I'm talking about from Japan, from areas, that they only go to look because they've never looked areas. So this is happening about. So as I told you in the first slide, some of my slides will be very explicit, but they're not dirty. They have reason behind it to understand human sexuality. So next time you can feel more comfortable, and I don't have my friends answering me, we have no idea what sexuality means. I don't think we can afford to have doctors who have no idea about what sexuality is. We need doctors who have a complete idea what sexuality is. Next, Khajuraho. How many of you have been to Khajuraho? I'm sad to say, you missed out on something. How many of you been to Taj Mahal? Okay. You will find Khajuraho equally beautiful if you go with open eyes and not located as a like of anything happening. The sculpture area. They celebrate and they were to teach the area. What we did with the slides, they didn't have the slides in those days. I didn't have PowerPoint in those days, so I had to make the slides. So they didn't even have slides, so they had to make these pictures. That is what Khajuraho is all about. Next. Ajanta Caves. Next. Now this is a beautiful slide I want to show you all. When did the brazier for the women came up? It is not a new invention. Here it is, some of these, and this is a site called as Kamal's Potpuri, from where I got these two slides. In ancient India, you find these two sculptures clearly showing breast being covered by a brazier, whether it's a strip or so, talking board. So this is not only an image or a sculpture, but it fully understands the sexual connotation of female breasts and why they need to be covered in those times. So you see the changes that happened slowly. A part given to us by nature became special connotation. Who gave it special connotation? Not the producer, not the nature. It's us human beings who gave it. Who call it dirty? We call it dirty by giving it dirty names or dirty jokes. Nothing is dirty. The day is coming up. But it's us who have given that. But at least we doctors should be able to be away from it and understand every part has a role, a social role, an anatomical role, a physiological role, and a sexual role. There are people who find feet very sexy, people who find hair very sexy. As you've been hearing, is going on in Delhi and Agra, somebody is coming and cutting off the chutti of the girls. He's a hair fetish. There are many girls, they find their panties are lost. There are people who are underwear fetish. They collect underwear. They don't want to touch women. They don't want to do anything, but they collect underwear. So there are huge spectrum of sexuality in people, and we understand that. And they say, what a foolish man! I can see one of my friends making faces. What a dirty thing to take somebody's absurdity. But that is what stimulates him. That is what he is doing, because that is his area of getting stimulation. So we as doctors have to understand, and as we don't have to approve it, but we don't judge it. Next, sculptures. This, by the way, is anybody has been to Trivandrum? This is outside Trivandrum Medical College Hotel. This is a beautiful sculpture, see very clearly, of a woman figure, absolutely glowing. This is a huge dimension. And these are other sculptures. This almost looks like a live female and doesn't look like a sculpture. This is in bronze. Just to let you know that this is the way I don't know how many months that the sculpture would have spent on making this beautiful sculpture of a female form. Nothing dirty about it. It's neither pleasurable nor erotic. It's something from art, as you have put up the art in the data. Next. Yes. This is the most important grievance I have in the media. You can see this kind of image. Would any one of us like my own daughter or my child of 10 years to see this? This is not from the internet. This is not from any hoarding. This is from a family newspaper, Asian Age, which comes to our house. We have this photograph coming here. It has no relevance in the paper, no news, but they put it in our paper. So, the point which I am making in the next few slides later on come up, media assails us. I don't have to go to internet. That is my choice. I am going to porno or I am looking at the internet. But this is happening in front of me. It is a hoarding which is coming in front of me. I can't avoid it. That is where we want to attack. If we want cleanliness in our society, not have porno images, this is the area we are good at, not internet. Internet is by choice. This you are putting in my face and showing me, look, this is the new area. This is where the mothers need to act, and we as doctors also need to say, let's be restrained. What is the relevance of such photograph? You don't want to show even line diagram of female body and male body in classes. We call them they're dirty. But these images come to our house regularly. Any day you pick up the paper, you will find 9 to 13 Arthanagar Avastha mein is ki photo in any newspaper. And that is what we should be stopping. Next. India today. What men want. Bachare, as if he knows what men want. And now, if you women see it, you will feel, this is what men want. Useless girls, useless guys. I am not going to be with any man. I don't want any man friend. But this is what they want. This is titillation behavior. And deep inside, this is the cover. Showing it, as you can see, is every female like this? This is what every man wants? maybe sometimes, but not always. Next one. Next one. Again, what women want. Can we go back? The sex report on intimate desires of the Indian woman. Now, by talking to 238 women, they are able to understand 60 million women's thought processes and put in a report. Sample size 238. Report says what Indian women want, and this is what they want. But when a man looks at it, what do I look at? Next slide. I look at the happy woman, mouth open, orgasmic. Oh, this is what I would like to be with every woman. So my thoughts become, and this is what I think about every woman. So the woman becomes sex objects to me. Because there is nothing else in a woman. There is no intellect, there is no art, there is no beauty. There is only the sex part which I want to look at a woman. So every woman, whichever age, is a subject. And then we say, oh, the society is becoming, all men are becoming vultures and witches. Because I am told that this is what women want from us. They want orgasms from us, nothing else. You lose out. So that is where, unless you understand sexuality, or media changes the role, we will not be able to help people. Next one. All the media pressure. Weight reduction, nice thighs. You know, those ads come up with the razors, or they slide like so beautifully. You know, you keep the hanky goes down, other thigh you keep the hanky doesn't go down. So then, all women have hairs. Please remember, all women have hairs. The only hair quality may be different. So having hair is not a problem, but the society is making you buy products to see that you take out the hair. You don't have to get fools, but the media works on this. Next one. Fashions. Graphic image again. Piercing. And I can show you, and I've seen piercing in many other areas, deliberately bought a photograph which is less explicit. I have many more which are much more explicit, piercing everywhere. Then I would hardly understand, I say don't judge, but why would a woman want such nazuk hissa jo hai body ka to be pierced? But yes, they do it. Next one. What do you see? What do you see, sir? What is the shape of the ice cream? Bolo nahi yaar? Miss, which anatomical part of the male does the ice cream resemble here? I'll make it easier for you, Joe. The penis. It's a phallic ice cream. They're eating it in the market, and this is a phallic lipstick. I admit. My wife refuses to keep in her part of the drawer. She says, all the lipstick, all her customers. She's a doctor, she's an ophthalmologist. Paripulavi knows her very well. She is always helping. But ye maine rakhungi. You keep it in your cupboard. So I have this phallic lipstick in my cupboard. She refuses. If some children see, what will they say? Mummy, ye use karti hai, so they will have a problem. So she doesn't want to keep it. So yes, you can have a good laugh at it. But there is a phallic lipstick, less than $1. Hundreds of them available every to people. I have not brought any photograph of sex toys. I am not going to embrace it. But I am just going to tell you, sexual images are coming to us from all directions to the young people. But is advice coming to them? No. The whole point of the last 10 minutes was this, which is coming in the next slide also. Next. Beach behavior. So, you think boys touch girls? Here you can see what is happening. As I told you, I myself been touched. So this is here you can talk. Next. Here, there is one slide which I want to talk about. All the last 25 minutes is to come to this slide. That adolescents and young people are being assaulted with sexual images and sexual content from all directions. Their bodies are changing, their minds are changing, their relationships are changing, and they are getting these messages from everywhere. And they are not getting any help. What do you do? Because then you slide and you have problems. This is what happens. Sexual imagery, but sparse support. Adolescents sexually active, but they don't have information, don't have skills, and don't have access to services and supplies. There are many myths, and that is what my next section is going to talk about, the myths. And this leaves them vulnerable to HIV, STI, pregnancy, all those areas. That is what we are coming at. Next. Have you understood the point? That there is sex around us all the time, especially for the young people. Our media, our religion, our literature, our internet, our discussion, our jokes, so many things like phallic ice cream are giving us sexual images. But the adolescents do not know how to handle them. And that's where we come in, that we have to help them. First we have to help ourselves and then we have to help them. Next. So this is my personal experience. I'll show you some columns. It was a body image, body workshops. For my own newspaper column, I must have done more than 1,000 workshops in my life till today. Believe me. That is another, more than 1,000 workshops. I've never charged a single rupee from anybody. And whenever I go to the school, ma'am, thank you very much for clapping because it is very difficult. I would tell the boys and girls there, ना तो मेरा कोई बच्चा बच्ची पढ़ता है स्कूल में और ना मैं आपके स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल से कोई पैसे ले रहा हूँ. You can come back and talk to me. So they have the faith. Otherwise, usually the children's parents come and do lectures. And there I go and tell them clearly, the first line I tell them is, I'm not taking anything from your school, so you can come and talk to me about your intimate problem. And they come and talk. I'll bring up one or two topics that comes up in the area. Next. We do body mapping. This I did in Haryana, girls. You'll find, you give them a big outline of a female body, male body, and ask them to fill in the organs. Where is the uterus? Where is the testicles? Where is the penis? Where is the clitoris? And you are surprised. Girls are doing their PhD, ma'am. They have no idea what their own body is. One PhD girl asked me, why can't men become pregnant? So I looked at her. I took it really as a good question, as a PhD question. I said, ma'am, because they don't have a uterus. But so why can't you become pregnant? And then I realized that she has no idea that uterus is necessary for being pregnant, and many other things along with the uterus, by the way. But she had no idea. She is doing a PhD in Kanpur. And this is it. That is where the level of information is. On the other hand, boys, 8-year-old, looking at porno on the internet in the night and parents are worried. Both are today's realities. I personally know of them, thousands of cases. 8-year-old boys. I'll add here. I have two papers on the commercial sex workers of Delhi, where when I was suited booted like this with my apron, I had 4 or 5 interns, your age, students like me. So I went to one of the portals. We went to a customer who was our friend. He was a regular customer. So we had the police protection and all. So after introduction, I asked the lady, she may be a commercial sex worker, she's a lady. So I asked Hindi mein, आपके पास कौन कौन आता है? Quickly the reply came, आपके जैसे भी आते हैं. Good thing that you are in 3-piece suit or you are a doctor के लिए आते हैं. बगैर दांतों वाले आते हैं. नन्हे मुन्ने आते हैं. And ma'am, while being there itself for 6-8 days, I saw school boys coming, the school knickers there, coming and selecting a woman, going in the entire room and coming back in a few minutes. They are there and giving them money. Personally, I have seen this to let you know what I'm saying comes from personal experience. Next slide. 77% of Delhi boys and 50% of all boys and 23% of all girls believe masturbation makes you weak. What is masturbation? I thought after I should talk to you, but Sarji, blue shirt, what is masturbation? Yeah, कुछ तो बता दो. Should I go to a girl and ask her again? It will insult. लड़की बता देगी मेरे को मेरी. What is masturbation? Sir, your name. So the red shirt sir. What do you understand by masturbation? My hands in the pocket. Am I masturbating? Could be.
Self-stimulation.
Beautiful answer. Self-stimulation. So self-stimulation makes you weak. 59% of teenagers think menstruation is the body way to expel unclean blood. This is from Outlook, main survey data on myths, which I found very good. That even self-stimulation is not allowed. That is the concept. Let's go to the next slide quickly. How do myths import it? That is because they go to the commercial sex worker because dhakku nahi girna chahiye, the sperm should not come out, you're wasting, but you can put in the woman's body, that is fine. So you go to a commercial sex worker and have sex with her, but you don't do self-stimulation. That is what has led so many boys and men towards commercial sex workers, and then they get gonorrhea, they get syphilis, they get HIV, many other things, they get insulted there, and then they have hugely inferiority complex that I've done such a dirty job. feel guilt is there. All those things happen because they think